key element to every sales process is overcoming objections. But first, what are objections? They're often seen as hurdles or roadblocks on your way to the close, which is true. However, they should not be perceived as negatives. In reality, objections are simply requests for more information. You should be concerned if you don't hear any objections, because in fact they are buying signs. We must remember that people want to go solar. They're just afraid of change and don't want to make a mistake. So when we uncover an objection, don't view it as a problem, but rather as an opportunity to turn a perceived negative into a positive, put our customers at ease, and give them the confidence to move forward with a great decision. We must take the approach of closing for and with our customers. We're not here to strong-arm people into something they don't need. Simply ask yourself, will this make their lives better or worse? If the numbers make sense, this is going to save them money, protect them from the rising rates, and give them peace of mind. People want and need these things. And as Zig Ziglar says, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Now, most objections will be handled throughout your presentation, and oftentimes when you get to the end, people will sign right up without any resistance. However, sometimes we get to the end, we ask for the sale, and there's still something holding the customers back. A common objection you may hear at this point is, we need to think about it. Now, what does that tell us? Nothing, other than the fact that they're not ready to move forward. The real answer lies behind that smokescreen. Fortunately, we have a method to help uncover the real objection and get people back on track. We use the process of AKRC, which stands for Acknowledge, Kill, Resell, Close. But before we get into that method, let's talk about what happens to you physically when you get an objection at the end. No matter how experienced you may be, there's still a certain amount of tension in this moment. Typically, your heart starts racing, you may get a little red, and maybe even start sweating, and we start talking very, very quickly to overcome the objection. This, of course, just makes the customer become even more resistant. So don't let your body language deceive you. The very first thing you need to do, as obvious as it may sound, is relax. Take a moment, breathe, maybe even sit back in your chair. It is our job to alleviate the tension. We must be very conscious of our body language. If we get tense and jittery, then the customer will also. Put them at ease. Then simply say, sure, what do you need to think about? That simple. This is the first step of AKRC, acknowledge, which really is two parts. One is to validate their concern by saying, sure, or I understand, which should ease the tension. And two, uncover or isolate what the true objection is. As we discussed earlier, need to think about it doesn't give us any real information. We must know the true objection before we can overcome it. The mistake so many salespeople make is misdiagnosing the objection. We assume we know what their issue is and we pounce on the objection trying to overcome it. And it turns out to have nothing to do with their true concerns. So, how do we make sure that we diagnose correctly? Some people will tell you right away what their objection is, but oftentimes we need to dig for the real answer. We do this by asking good questions. It seems like you like the savings. Is there anything you don't like about the program? Or turn it around on yourself. What did I miss? Or what questions didn't I answer for you? And then really listen. Sometimes people will even give you false objections before getting to the real issue that's concerning them. The best way to determine this is by their body language and tonality. Once you feel you've uncovered the true objection, echo it back to them to let them know that you understand them. Okay, it sounds to me like you're concerned about what happens when you move. Is that correct? Now that you have a clear understanding of what their concern is, you can move to step 2, kill the objection. We like to say, kill it with facts. Whatever it is, provide a simple answer or answers to put that concern to rest. At the same time, don't forget that objections can be opportunities. For example, if a customer is concerned about the equipment lasting and working properly, don't just tell them that they're covered. Let them know that we have some of the most generous guarantees and warranties in the marketplace. In fact, you have 2 lines of defense, a 25-year manufacturer's guarantee on all the equipment and a money-back production guarantee through American Solar Direct. This process is a lot like the martial arts form of judo. You take what may seem like an attack and you use it as an opportunity to turn things into your favor and reveal or edify the wonderful benefits of our program. As you're overcoming the objections, you must be keyed into the customer's body language. If you have satisfied their objection, you should see a slight relaxing of the face and perhaps a gentle nodding and understanding. If they are not yet satisfied, you will still notice tension in their face and they may not be making eye contact. If they're still hung up on something, ask more probing questions. If they seem resolved, move on to the next step, which is resell. Most people miss this step, and yet it is crucial to a smooth reclose. Resell does not actually have to do anything with the customer's objection. Here, you should simply be reminding your customers why they wanted to go solar in the first place. People get so hung up on their concerns, they forget that they actually really want to do this. So, just ask them if we've achieved their goals and get excited for them. Now, as discussed in the discovery section, everyone has different motivations or inspire factors. You should have determined what these are throughout the presentation. Highlight one or two of these to get your customers excited again about going solar, and then ask them a few questions such as, do you see the value in putting $50,000 back in your pocket? And I know you want to do the right thing for the planet, right? This should get them back on track and will set you up perfectly for the reclose. Newer salespeople tend to take a long time getting to this point. The truth is, the AKRC method can go as quickly as 30 seconds, or it could take 5 to 10 minutes. As you're going through, watch their body language, and as soon as they are sold, stop selling and simply ask for the business. The key here is to have a nice transition phrase and a call to action. Remember to take the approach of an assistant buyer. This is something that you're doing together. Come up with whatever phrase feels comfortable to you. One example is, let's do this. Let's get you on a better plan than the utility. All I need is your blessing right here. And then hand them the iPad to sign. Your confidence will inspire confidence in them, and most will move forward. If you still get resistance at this point, simply go through the AKRC method again. Uncover any other objections until you've satisfied all of their concerns. Remember, we are closing for and with the customer. It is our job to alleviate their fears, illustrate how this will improve their lives, and inspire them to move forward with solar.